This video will be mostly a variation on a theme that there are no waste in nature, just misplaced resources. So I have one problem, that my previous mulch in this bed is almost eaten by the earthworms and woodlice and all the microbiology which is in the soil. You can see the soil is getting out, and where it is bare it's like a wound. It is dry. Even in Irish climate it gets dry, rock solid, infertile, no life in it almost. Although if I would dig under mulch you can see the difference. So this is the rock solid dry piece, and this is where you see the earthworms living. All the creatures creeping, and most millions are not visible to our eye, all the bacteria and fungi and everything. And it's soft, I can dig in it, although it's not yet as good as it will be in a few years' time, because we started to mulch this place only maybe half year ago or so, maybe a bit more. So it is just the first results, and still you see it's so big difference between where it was mulched here and where it wasn't. So I'm running out of mulch in this bed, so I need some more organic matter to put on. So that's one problem I have. Another problem I have, well, I should say I had, is this big, huge, well, to my measures at least huge, hedge, which needed a trimming. And you saw maybe in one other video I made about cucumbers. By the way, this is how they look now, bigger and happier even. So I cut my hedge, and it is, when it will grow back and I will cut it again 1 or 2 times, it will start to look like a normal hedge, although it was very far from that before. So I ended up with this heap of organic matter, which might be a problem in somebody's eyes, because most people think it's a problem where to put it. So it's one of the cases, one of the very few cases when I think that buying something is good. In this case I thought, and I did, I bought this thing, which is a shredder or wood chipper or whatever you may call it. It's quite cheap. Don't remember, it was a bit more than 200 euros maybe on eBay. So it's possible to buy these or other kinds. I like this because of 2 reasons. One, it's electric, so it doesn't need a lot of maintenance as a petrol engines would be. And another thing, it is self-feeding. It feeds itself, and it operates more quiet than the usual ones. So it's basically like a big cob. Maybe you saw it. There's like a big cob wheel grinding everything. So what I do, I take my waste, which otherwise I would have to find ways how to get rid of, and I put it in my shredder, and I make mulch, which looks something like this. basically how it works. And what I get out is not completely powdered, but well enough shred organic matter. And since it was a living hedge with leaves on, it isn't just a woody matter which would be high in carbon and no nitrogen almost. Here it's most leaves, which is very rich in nitrogen and all other elements which is needed for plants, so it is really good stuff. It's difficult to find anything better than this. And basically I can put this stuff wherever it is needed, and it will be both the ground cover and a slow release fertilizer as well. It is so, there are so many benefits of mulching like this. It's water retention. You don't have to water it ever, at least in our climate, but not only in our climate. It is feeding soil biology, which feeds the plants in turn. And it is looking better as well, I would say, and it reduces weeding. If you cover it with at least 10 centimeters, better more 15-20 centimeters, you can't do it too much, I would say. So if you put a good layer of it and a little bit tap it down so it's a bit more, not compacted, you can't compact it really, but a bit more kind of compressed together, then you get the benefit that weeds doesn't grow through, and you don't have to weed almost at all, and many other things, which is good. Only bad thing, it encourages slugs, which is our main problem. But I'm much more willing to avoid growing some plants which I otherwise grew, which are slug prone, rather than abandon this mulching. By the way, this is the rose which I showed you a couple of days before in the video about how to repair the broken limb in the plant. You see? It's looking good. It's starting to flower, and the leaves on top of this joint is just a little bit worse condition than the other leaves. I would say the experiment worked and the plant is happy. Okay, I'll continue my work until I'm done up to the end, and I hope that somebody might find this idea useful, although it is so simple and so self-explanatory, but still somebody might benefit, I hope, from it. So here we are about 45 minutes later, and the job is finished. This is how the bed looks like now. No bare soil. And I don't know, maybe I'm some kind of strange person, but to me this kind of bed even visually looks better than the same bed if it would be with a bare soil. Let alone that in real life bare soil usually in real life means weak plants and lots of weeds, which nobody is able to keep on top of. Here, I don't know, this looks good to me. Plus, I don't have to work, to water, to weed, to fertilize, to dig and till and cultivate. Why do all that job for yourself if you can employ, for example, earthworms to do all your digging for you. They're happy to dig all year round and to dig around your perennial roots without disturbing them, but while fertilizing them with their excrement. And these earthworms don't ask any salary in return, just give them mulch to hide them from sun, from drying out, from light, and to give them a good food. Wood chips are their food. And the earthworms are happy and they multiply like crazy, and they do all the work for you. And the soil is good and doesn't need any digging after a few years of such life. Why not use it?